episode. It's me, Dr. Nakiba, and welcome to Unbound with Dr. Nakiba. So, the last couple of weeks, what I've talked about is weight. I've talked about when the number went up on the scale, how I'm still winning. And then the past week, I also talked about how the number on the scale can mess with your mind. And so this week, I want to do quite a shift. I want to talk more about um, the pressure of being the strong one. So for me, if I haven't shared it before, I'm the oldest sibling in my family, or my parents' oldest child. So um, at an early age, I've, as my siblings were born and they came up, I've always been the one that, I'm not going to say always, but a lot of times I've been the one that people looked up to be able to give them advice, to be able to strengthen them, to be able to give them courage, and just be able to uplift people. And so that's carried on to my friendships, it's carried on into my work environment, it's carried on into school, it's just carried on throughout my life. And it's okay to be considered the strong one. And there's a saying that people say, check on your strong friends, because sometimes they need people too. And so I just want to talk about, like, what does it mean to be the strong one, and why it's okay to start becoming unbound for from that identity of being the strong one. So for me, at my job, I'm a supervisor. I'm a leader in my field, and I feel like everything that I've done, I feel like there's always been some level of expectation of me to be better. Sometimes it's been external expectations, and sometimes that's been internal. And I've given myself so much pressure that sometimes I don't know how to turn it off. And I recall a few years ago when I was working towards moving to, at the time it was Italy. So I was moving to Italy for a good year, and I had a lot of challenges now that I can really talk about it that I was facing and getting there. And one of the challenges was related to, like, a personal relationship that I was having. Not, you know, a romantic relationship. It was a prior romantic relationship, but it wasn't like someone was telling me I couldn't go. But someone was affecting my ability to be able to go and travel freely. And so, based off of that, I felt like I was so out of control, and I was just holding it together. I was going to work. Um, at that time, I was in the mindset makeover, and then the mindset makeover was very intense. So it was teaching us how to speak power and to speak life into what we wanted for ourselves, and realizing that we were in control. And and so some of the things that was going on, I felt like I was always just holding it together for everybody. I was holding it together for the people that worked for me. I was holding it together for, like, the people that I had to answer to, like my bosses. And I was holding it together for my child. And I was doing all this holding stuff together where I almost didn't have grace to be able to release it. And I remember the day that I got a notice that, I believe it was the day that I got notice that my daughter, she couldn't get her visa to travel to Italy. And I remember, I was just doing what I was doing. It was just, I worked out multiple times a day, and so we were walking. And I remember when I got that notice, and I just felt like everything I'm doing, and no matter what I do, stuff is still coming up against me, right? And I felt like I had nothing else left at that time. And I released it like this big old well. I think I screamed to the top of my lungs. I was just crying because I was just very emotional, and I didn't know what else to do at that time. And I'm not going to jail for anybody. Um, but I just didn't know what to do. And so, for all this time, my daughter had always saw me being this strong person. She rarely saw me with any type of emotions. This thing hit her so she called my sister. Like, what can my sister do? I mean, I guess she could have came to the house and everything, and saw me because we were still in the States. So she called my sister. She was like, I don't know what to do. And my sister, I guess, I don't know if it shook something in me, but at that moment, I just wanted to wail. I just wanted to cry. I just wanted to release because I've been holding it in for so long. And it felt good. And so that's what I wanted to share. Like sometimes that's one moment, and I've had other moments, but that was the first time that I recall that my daughter actually ever saw me what she thought was falling apart. But what I was doing was releasing. And so what I want to say is people who are strong and you feel like you're just holding it together, I want to tell you you can be free to unbound yourself from the pressure of being the strong one. Being the strong one doesn't mean you have no emotions. Being the strong one doesn't mean that you don't get to feel how you feel. Being the strong one doesn't mean that you don't get to speak up about how you feel and to disagree with people and to speak about what makes you feel better about yourself or what makes you feel like you're not holding yourself in. What I will tell you is if you hold things in for too long, you can hurt yourself. You can hurt your mind, body, and spirit. So, what I will say is let's focus less on trying to be the strong person in terms of you got to carry all the weight of the pressure of everybody and yourself on your back and learn how to start releasing some of these things. Find what that means and what that looks like for you. Um, do you have a hobby? How much time do you actually spend on things that you enjoy doing for yourself? Are you always spending all your time on trying to make other people happy? And then when you turn around, you feel like your cup is empty, or you feel like maybe you don't have anything left to give for yourself? Let's normalize making sure we take care of ourselves first. Because if you truly do like being a strong person, part of being strong is you train. And in order to train, you have to train. You get to train on the things that you want to build up. So, for instance, one of the things that I do know is that my knees tend to be a little weak. And I'm probably using that term lightly. So if my knees are weak, I don't get to focus on trying to train my knees. What I'm supposed to do is focus on training the muscles around the knees. So that means I focus on my quads, I focus on, I don't know what other the rest of those muscles are. But you kind of, hopefully, you understand what I mean. So it means if you're trying to build yourself up in other areas, you don't overuse that particular muscle to make yourself get stronger. You do some sort of training to allow yourself to be able to build up that resistance. And we're not building up resistance to being strong. We're building up resistance for holding some of these things in because you want to have a balanced life. You want to have a balanced mind. And being strong doesn't mean um, that your body doesn't need a break. Being strong literally means that you can carry a little bit more than what other people can carry, but it doesn't mean you should carry it all. So learn how to give yourself a mental break. Learn how to give yourself grace to do other things and grace to take care of yourself. And let's normalize not always calling ourselves the strong one, and let's just call ourselves balanced. Um, yeah, there's, I guess, those of us that's always been the strong one, we get some level of um, like endorphins, like kind of help us feel better about ourselves. But then think about on the other side of that, if you're pouring so much into someone or something else and you're not refilling your own cup or taking care of yourself, then what good are you really going to be to anyone and to yourself? So that's what I wanted to share this week. I hope this topic resonated with you. So tell me, are you the strong person? And what are some ways that you have learned to move away from being considered the strong person and making sure you're taking care of yourself? Or how are you handling it? So drop in the comments below and let me know what's going on with you. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.